In today's guide, we are going in depth on all the ins and outs of winning gunfights in Warzone, and we're going to do that while breaking down a recent 36 kill win that I had on Rebirth Island. Now, when it comes to winning gunfights in Warzone, it all comes down to 5 main things: aim, movement, positioning, gameplay strategy, and anticipation or centering. So throughout this entire game, we're going to constantly go back to those 5 main things. Starting off here immediately with gameplay strategy. Kind of 3 gameplay strategy things I want to go over here in the first 10 seconds of this game. First is going to be this stack of cash. Now, as soon as I see this pop out, I'm going to buy my SMG to give myself that advantage. But this is only because I am playing solo quads. If you are playing as a squad, whether it's duos, trios, or quads, you need to prioritize full loadout for the entire team. Do not look at this stack of cash and be like, I'm going to go buy my SMG immediately because Cup of Joe said so. No, you have to worry about full loadout first as a squad and giving yourself that advantage as a team. With that being said, use your discretion. If you guys are in the blender early, you're nowhere close to loadout cash flow wise, you don't have control of early game, or maybe you're playing with randoms and they don't land with you, then yeah, go ahead and buy your SMG and give yourself that advantage. But don't be too quick to do it. Think about your team as well. The second thing is going to be perks. Not going too far into perks, guys. Perks are a huge advantage. The one perk we don't want when it comes to winning gunfights is Bird's Eye. It actually hurts you more than it helps you. Right here, this guy's on my level. Below, it looks like on my level or above, and he's above. When we have Bird's Eye, it takes away those levels, which makes it much more difficult to figure out like where enemies actually are. So I will never have Bird's Eye unless I have Specialist. Besides that, guys, I always drop Bird's Eye. The last thing, it's a gunfights video, guys. Talk about how to win gunfights. I've got to say it. You have to use meta weapons. Now, the meta changes all the time, so a lot of you guys know this, but if you don't, make sure to check out ggS.ai. It's a website I helped create, and we basically use an algorithm to help you figure out the best weapons and the best builds, specifically based on your playstyle. We have balanced, aggressive, tactical, and casual. We have an algorithm that scores them so you can figure out what's the best weapon for you. Now, outline for today's video. I'm going to let situations play out and then we will kind of talk through them. I want you to see it happen and then we'll kind of talk through like, some of my thought process and why I did what I did to win that gunfight. If you are subscribed to my second channel, my loadout channel, guys, you've probably seen this before. This was posted maybe like a week or so ago. This is Biffle's loadout right here. This is also the day before Season 4 Reloaded, so the meta is going to change. But starting off right here, I never push into this little doorway straight ahead of me right here. When I think about approaching a fight, especially in close quarters and winning gunfights, I need to limit the number of angles that I can get shot from. So in this doorway here, and we'll really break this down in a little bit, but I can get shot from this corner, from by the window over here, this head glitch here. I can get shot from this corner. I can get shot from the doorway. Like, there's so many different places that I can get shot from here that it makes it hard to anticipate and think about where enemies are. So I don't push in here unless I know exactly where people are. I'm very careful about that because I don't want to get shot from multiple angles and have to guess where people might be. So I back off, push down the stairs. Biggest thing right here, guys, a little bit of a jump strafe. Just basic movement here. We hit high damage areas. Crosshairs are out. There's the jump strafe to the back right a little bit, and that allows us to take less damage. Now, with this next enemy that's pushing, the biggest thing that I want to highlight here is knowing when you have the advantage, right? I don't have the advantage right now. I've got to kind of make a move here besides the fact that I have my superi, right? But at this moment, I have the advantage. I am going to push this because he is broken. I am not broken, and I have my meta weapon that has great mobility. I'm very comfortable with it. I know it has a great TTK, so I'm going to put the pressure on him and be able to get that down in thirst. Now, immediately, we're going to start to work here, right? We're going right back through control. Not 100% sure where anybody is, which we do need to talk about centering here. Guys, when it comes down to centering, it is the #1 thing that you can do to start to win more gunfights. Yes, we need to work on aim. Yes, we need to work on movement. Aim is the most important thing. But if you start working on your centering, you will 100% win more gunfights. Putting your crosshairs where you think enemies are going to be. Making sure my crosshairs are out and ready to shoot. Is my centering perfect? No. If there's an enemy right here in this doorway, I have to make a slight adjustment. But centering not only helps you get ready to shoot, it also allows you to start to think about where enemies might be. Just that alone, thinking about where enemies might be, will allow you to start to win more gunfights. And by the way, notice I didn't push through that doorway. I pushed up top here to this guy. Now, the other thing when it comes to winning gunfights, guys, is, if you are subscribed, you know this, is information, right? Now, when we talk about information when it comes to winning gunfights, a lot of you guys notice this information right here, but you don't actually act on it. You say, okay, there's 2 guys down below me, and then you just leave it. You take note of it, but you don't do anything with it. I am always working my way towards my next gunfight. So I'm going to go ahead and work this direction. I'm going to push across here. Once again, you know, don't push in that direction. I'm going to anticipate him pushing through, and when he doesn't, we start to work straight through this way. Call the UAV. I'm going to call the bunker buster on prison so that they don't call it on control. You know, I'm just going to get rid of it on prison. I don't want to have to deal with it. By the way, guys, if you are looking to get better, 64% of people that watch my videos over the past month are not subscribed. So if you are looking to get better and get more kills on Rebirth Island, take a second, make sure you are subscribed down below. Once again, guys, just centering through here. And by the way, the slide cancel, right? I'm sprinting. I'm tack sprinting. The slide cancel, boom, allows me to get my crosshairs out. I'm ready to shoot this guy. At that point, it's a pretty easy kill there with the hip fire before we ADS, which I'll talk about here in a little bit here. One guy that side. Watch back behind me here. Just a little bit of jumping while shooting. Let aim assist kind of do its thing there. And yes, I'm on controller, guys. I would highly recommend you be on controller if you're able to. If you're on keyboard mouse, I would highly recommend it. It is absolutely the meta input. One guy right here. Okay, so after I get this kill on this guy back behind me, I don't know where people are. Right? So this is the biggest thing right here. Acting on concrete information. We notice that there's a few kind of floating around me here, but I don't really know where. 3 above, 1 enemy on my level over this backside this way. Now, when I kind of slow down here to play positioning, and then I re-engage here, the only thing that I know to act on is this guy. I see this enemy. So throughout this, watch my centering, okay? Think about what I said. Put your crosshairs where you think enemies are going to be. Centering. Centering. Centering through the doorway, centering this way. And notice that I'm kind of timing my slide cancels around the corners, okay? Centering right there, centering around the doorway, centering this way, centering through. Now, all of a sudden, I see him finally, and I can react. But it's because I was thinking about where he might be that I get that quicker reaction time, and I'm able to easily get that kill, centering, okay? We're going to go back to it, because again, I think it's the #1 thing a lot of you need to work on. Now, this is unfair right here. Nope, just kidding. Too early. Centering. Still centering. I mean, it's just, we're going to push up the stairs. We're going to talk about a stair glitch here in a minute. Now, what do we see on the mini-map here? Okay. One guy, kind of tough to see right there, but we see this guy cross over here. See this guy right here? I want you to keep him in mind, because as I go and challenge this guy, I now know it's 2 enemies. I didn't like that situation. Okay, I didn't love that situation. 2 enemies super close together. I don't want to fight them 1v2, so I just decided to back off in that moment. One up top. Patience. It's multiple enemies in there, so I've got... If you're fighting multiple enemies, guys, you've got to find a way to get it down and thirst first, right? I can't push in here and just guess where they actually are. Yep, so what are we doing? We're pushing right back around this way. And we're just going to keep working our way through. At times, guys, it's going to feel like you're doing laps around a building. This is basic movement here, right? But more importantly, the slide cancel to get the crosshairs out. Now I just react. This guy's obviously stuck on the door from drop shotting. I'm going to simply slide across. Now notice, what, 2 above, kind of in this back corner this way. So now we play positioning. This right here. Guys, when we talk about stair glitches, this is the unfair situation you can put yourself in. This guy can see... Trust me. I promise you. Just trust me on this. This guy can literally see this much of my head. Like, he can see the top of my scalp, and that's literally it. Meanwhile, I can see his whole entire body. It's an unfair position to be in. It's a great way to challenge based on stairs. It's a great way to re-challenge as well. 1 enemy down below. Look at it in the corner. Remember what I told you. Acting on that next piece of information. Oh, okay, I got 1 above. I got 1 down below. Okay, I'm going to reload here, and then I'm just going to hang out. No, like, go push one of these 2 solo players. You can I don't care which one you push. Push one of these 2 1v1 fights. The key to winning a lot of gunfights, not only are, you know, the more 1v1s we can put ourselves in, the better off we're going to be. You know, having to fight outnumbered is definitely tough, but if we can put ourselves in 1v1 fights and we center well, we use basic movement like strafing and jumping, you guys are going to start to easily win more gunfights. By the way, we're already up to number 12 right there. Like I said, guys, if you are looking to get better, make sure you are subscribed down below, but we still got another team floating around here somewhere. Still got another team floating around here somewhere, just not 100% sure. Still working up top. We work down through. anticipate really well, and I just missed some shots there. He hit really good shots. Guys, dying's going to happen. It's part of Rebirth Island. You're going to lose gunfights. It is what it is. Now let's focus on the regain. You guys already know what I'm doing if you watch my videos. We're going straight to the biometric scanner. One of the most underrated things that you can possibly do. We have loadout over to my back left side here. We're going to go ahead. We're going to keep that free loadout up. We're going to take the safe route here, the biometric scanner. Silver, gold, platinum key cards give you loadout perk packages, loadout lethal and tactical, and cash, which means you can buy your loadout guns, basically giving you a free loadout. And then Polyatomic and Orion give you a bunch of free items from the buy station. So what do we notice here? We got some people. Oh, we got decoy over to our right side, but there was also shooting over that direction. Oh, and we got UAV. So now we know there's a bunch of people at Nova 6. We're going to grab the Holger 26 here. It's definitely a good long-range option, or it was at the moment. And let's go ahead and start to work this way with our positioning. Now, I want you to pay attention to this closely. I'm going to put you on the spot here and see what you do, okay? We're going to push up here. We're going to go ahead. We're going to basically tag that guy a bunch, and he's going to get thirsted here in a second. Now, from this moment right here, what do? Which way do you put? We're going to push this, right? We're going to figure out how we want to challenge this, but which way do you go? You know, do you push down the stairs, right? Do you push in the doorway? Do you, jump spot here? Do you push to the left and take zip? Like, what's your thought process here? In this moment, with all of these people in Nova 6 and floating around, I knew there were people on the rooftop. I didn't know how many were up there. I keep everything in front of me, okay? So I'm going to work towards the jump spot here. And then what you're going to see is I'm going to clear kind of the left side with the Holger. We're going to clear the right side with the Holger. And once we know the rooftop is clear, then we know everybody is down below us. And that's one thing that I do a lot is I either clear like bottom to top or top to bottom. I try to avoid putting myself in the middle of certain situations because then it gets tough because you could get pinched. So as I push in here, then from that point, I got to worry about what two places, right? Technically speaking, I've got to worry about kind of my right side over here under my camera, but then everything is in front of me, right? Which means this is pretty easy. Now, one of the biggest tips I can give you when it comes to winning gunfights, guys, is don't be afraid to leave. Like, that's just the reality. Now, there's a crucial part of leaving that we need to talk about, but multiple enemies. I got a riot shield. I've got 13 kills. It's second circle. I'm off to a great start. This is not a fight that I want to take. Like, I'm just going to leave it, guys, and that is okay. The important part, though, is where do you go from here? Okay, so we got 9 teams. I'm one team. They're one team. There's 7 other teams floating around this map somewhere. If I'm going to leave, and by the way, it's Riot Shield and multiple enemies that are playing very close together. Like, the chances of me winning that are very, very low. The most important part of disengaging, though, is figuring out where you're going to go to. So I'm just going to go ahead, pop a UAV. You can pop portable radar. You could remember that there were people in prison from previous. And look at this right here. Two things that I noticed. Number one is this enemy on my level. And number 2 is we got some teams back here, and then we've got some teams over here. So we need to kind of remember that information about like where the clusters of enemies are. Yes, aim, guys, is the most important thing. There's no doubt about it that aim is the most important thing when it comes to winning gunfights. Centering's going to help you a lot, movement's going to help you a lot, but at the end of the day, you got to hit your shots. And from here, we hear an enemy flying in. Now, I know what a lot of you are going to say in this moment. I want you to watch this, okay? And then I'm going to challenge you on what you are thinking because I know what you're thinking in this moment. I know what a lot of you are probably thinking. Okay? A lot of you are in this moment are probably thinking, Joe, you ran by Specialist. How could you possibly leave Specialist back there? Guys, you can't loot so much that you die, right? In this moment, I'm able to get the down, okay? I push up. First things first, when we get the thirst here, and I do notice that Specialist is on the ground right about that moment. But, understand, like, I don't need anything. Specialist is a huge bonus, don't get me wrong, and I definitely want it, but I can't want it so bad that I die because of it. And I know that there's an enemy sitting right around this corner who just dropped in because I heard his footsteps from when he jumped from the rooftop or he landed in. So I have to go worry about him first, and then I'll come get Specialist, okay? So we're going to worry about him first. I get high alerted to the right side, really awkward situation, and then as I'm pushing back in, well, now I've got this enemy in front of me, right? So now I can't worry about the Specialist. I've got to worry about getting away. So I actually say it in the live commentary of like, oh, I want that specialist so bad, but I can't oversell for it and die to try to get specialists, especially on a good game. 2 enemies right here. Watch the basic strafing, guys. Just a little bit of strafing. You know, kind of just another thing that another basic thing I really want you to work on. It's going to increase your aim assist on controller. It's going to make you a harder target to hit. So far, we obviously have centering being a big thing. We've got acting on that next piece of info super quick. And then, of course, we have, you know, just making sure that you're strafing really well. Yep, one guy around the corner. Not 100% sure where he is, though. So we're just going to kind of keep chilling here. Now, when we talk about gunfights and not knowing where people are and not knowing how many enemies, like, sometimes you got to play positioning, okay? So right here, I don't want to put myself in that situation just yet. I'm trying to play a little bit of positioning, see if I can catch somebody off guard, at which point that gives me the information, at which point I can act confidently. But we're going to push here. One, I hear another one to my right side. And what do you know, guys? As soon as you see this smoke go down, hello, you hand deliver me specialist. Okay, this is the Shrouded perk right here, guys, and not many people run the Shrouded perk. There's a few perk packages that have it, but if I see Shrouded perk go down, I'm going to try to get this specialist here. And now we disengage, we're up the stairs, and now I'm already thinking about the re-engage, okay? So we're going to push down, high alerted to the left side. I'm thinking about the re-engage here immediately. Where are you? Up the stairs, centering. Nope, I thought I heard one to the left. And this is where Flex Perk gets a little bit tough because Flex Perk, which I have with Specialist, helps you kind of, it makes footsteps clearer, but it also can be tough to figure out where people are. So I just got really confused as to where people actually are right here. Multiple enemies in the stairs to my left, so we got to play patient here. Patience. There's enemy number 2, sure enough. So if you had pushed that right there, you would have pushed right into 2 guys who were shooting you at the same time. Let's let this play for a second. I love this play, by the way. Don't oversell for the thirst. One up top right above me. You can't chase, especially knowing there's 2 right here. I saw the second, right? You see when you push through here, okay? So, you know, I see 1 right here, and then, of course, I down this enemy. So the first enemy I saw was probably sitting right here. So if I try to jump up top here over on this jump spot, like, he's just going to be waiting for me there. I'm going to be in a terrible spot. So I'm just going to play a little bit unpredictable here until I see this 3rd enemy actually above me, and I don't know where he is. Challenge around that way. I'm just centering, right? You see the centering, trusting high alert, especially in these close quarter situations. And let's go ahead and push through, right? Let's go figure out, let's play a little bit of positioning right here. Find a cheeky little angle, wait for somebody to make a mistake. There's the mistake. And do we push that? No, because of enemy number 2. I'm going to take this long way. Why do I push this way? Okay, what you think about this? Okay, you have 2 options. Why don't I push straight down this way? Okay, or straight down this way? Why do I loop this? Why do I loop this far here and then go challenge from here? Because everything's in front of me, right? If I go and I challenge from here or here, there could be an enemy sitting right where I am, at which point I'm going to get shot in the back. Okay, so I take the extra half second to loop this around, you know, and kind of push this way so that I can kind of keep everything in front of me. Just a little thing that you want to be thinking about here, especially because pressure is on them to revive, right? They are the ones that have to revive in this situation, and I have time to go get this thirst. Yep, use the information. Now we're up to 21 here. And we still got to talk about Endgame, guys, because Endgame, winning gunfights during Endgame totally changes everything. Right back in. I know this guy's floating around here somewhere. I'm just not 100% sure where. Okay. Yep. Over to my left side here. Thanks, Flex Perk. Challenge down below. And there it is right there, guys. Hip fire before you ADS. We finally got to it. If you are subscribed, I talk about this all the time. If you're not subscribed and you made it this far, clearly you're finding this video helpful. So take a second, make sure you are subscribed down below. But we just hip fire there. Just such a huge advantage, especially with SMGs, you know, in these close quarter situations. Hip fire before you ADS, it's going to give you a huge advantage. And there we see Bird's Eye, right? I don't know what level these guys are on. I'm kind of assuming that they're down below, but I don't really know what level these guys are actually on. Kind of puts me in a tough spot. We're not going to push down below the stairs here because we know they've got everything. They've got Bettys, they've got cluster mines, they've got everything down there. 1 right there. We got the down. Not going to worry about the thirst just yet because it's multiple. There's enemy number 2. Now, in this moment, what do? Okay? We're always thinking about our next fight. Now, as soon as the smoke goes down, I'm pushing in. I'm pushing in to get the thirst. I get a little bit lucky because, again, Combat Scout gives me that live ping, which tells me he's in there in the smoke and I can easily track him. But at the very least, I'm going to be able to get that thirst, take that enemy out of the fight, get some more information, and then we kind of make that next decision from there. Respawn is officially disabled here, so now we start to slow our game down a lot, guys. Once respawn disables, everything changes. We play less aggressive. We start to play more strategic. We start to play a little bit more positioning. One down over to the left side here that I got to worry about. So we're going to go ahead. Yep, he's sitting. I hear him right in this corner here. But notice I don't push this too aggressively, right? So I kind of check to make sure, hey, is anybody sitting back here? Is anybody in this corner? Is anybody here? And then we center around the corner here. We're able to, obviously, this is a clean 50-50, but just a little bit of movement allows me to win that gunfight. Now, don't oversell for the thirst. We're going to plate up. We're once again just played a little bit slow. Check. Nope. Okay, now we get the thirst. And now I'm getting up to the rooftop here. I'm pushing up top. I'm playing my positioning. In circle with cover, then high ground. It's the most important thing for endgame. I want to be in circle. Cover is the most important thing because even if you're stuck low ground and you have cover, you can at least buy yourself time to wait a circle. And then, of course, we have high ground here, which is obviously, you know, very, very, very important. Shooting over to my left side here, I'm going to act on that weapon ping. I know these guys have to rotate into me. Aim is the most important thing. Got to be able to take that guy out of the fight. And that's a low risk, high reward kill, guys. It's low risk because I'm on the rooftop. I've got self-revive if something happens. High reward because all I got to do is basically track that guy who's out in the open. Doesn't have a ton of cover. Still know that that team's below me, right? I left the guy down below there in showers. So, and his teammates are now respawning back in. So I know that there's still this team down below. Got to hit those shots right there. Watch the live ping, guys. Live pinging is a huge advantage when it comes to winning gunfights. Takes away their ability to play unpredictable. Now, nothing happens with that. Nothing. That was the first kill that I got on the guy flying in. Nothing happens with that live ping, but I'm still in a pretty good position. Look at circle pull here, and this is going to be brutal. But what's the one thing you got to do? You got to remember information. You know, I've got this full team down below me. So instead of just pushing or trying to fly across, trying to, you know, push, and I'm just going to play smart here. I'm going to rotate early. Rotate early whenever you possibly can because I know that they're still down below here. So we're just going to play our positioning. We've got cover here with this kind of these metal, you know, walls that we can use. Get to a slightly better angle here, and now we start to fry. The mistake that I make, though, is I tried to shoot multiple. Like, I needed to just commit to one, just like this here. We're able to get the down, the thirst, still multiple enemies over there. I think it's still at least 2 or 3 that I've got to worry about, and I still have to technically rotate into zone here. Like, I'm not in zone at this moment. I've got to rotate, but in this situation, I'm just going to kind of hold. Yup, shooting over to the left side here. Buyback right there. I'm going to go keep the pressure on this enemy, and then I actually realize I'm in a pretty bad spot. Biggest thing for this right here, guys, is don't be afraid of gas. Don't be afraid of gas, okay? I've got time here. I've got time and I've got cash. I have 2 stims. I'm going to push up top here. Just check to see what's going on, and we're going to buy gas mask. So gas mask buys me more time. 31 kills, by the way. UAV to get information about where everybody is. Once again, I don't know exactly what level these guys are on. You know, this guy is ghosted right here, so I know that he's down below. But we're just going to keep playing patient here. I'm going to clear the rooftop real quick, see where anybody is. We're going to go back. We're going to buy gas mask again. Yep. Buy ourselves time. Let's go ahead and rotate in here. And now look at our circle rotation again, guys. There is absolutely no cover here. No cover whatsoever. This endgame is a brutal, brutal endgame that we find a way to clutch. Gas pushing me in. These guys are rotating with the smokes over to my right side right there. So can't really do much with that, but I hear one rotating to my left. I'm just going to let this play a little bit. Yapping away over here, like I always do. Yep. Let's go put the pressure on this guy real quick. Keep everything in front of me. The moment I challenge here, guys, notice everything's in front of me. I'm not in zone, but everything's at least in front of me, which means that I can make plays like this based on the information that I have. Okay. 2 enemies. Can't miss that. So what am I going to do? I'm just going to buy time. I mean, I've got 2 stims and the utility box here, so I have a lot of time that I can just sit and gas here if I need it. Quick stim. Probably a little bit too early there, but knocked. Buy station kind of bails me out a little bit here. Gas mask, PA. You know, high alerted in the back into gas to use the gas mask. This guy straight ahead right here. Obviously need to take out enemy number 2 with a little bit of strafing. High damage areas, guys. Got to win that gunfight. Now we're in a 1v1. Now we're in a 1v1. Guy over to my left side here. Let's go ahead and just execute on this guy. Obviously not the best player in the world, but we'll go ahead and take the 36 kills. I hope you enjoyed today's video. I hope you found it helpful. Remember what we talked about. Centering, acting on the next piece of information, and working towards your next fight as soon as possible. Hit high damage areas, work on your aim, and of course, basic strafing. Guys, I hope you enjoyed today's video. As I always say, let's get better today, and I will see you tomorrow.